third podcast, and it's been a long time.
It has, certainly has.
So I'm sure we have a lot to catch up on. And but now there's a pandemic, so things are not the same.
Yeah, things are not the same. It certainly has been a long time. I mean, a whole life was made
Mm-hmm.
in the time frame that we have been away, that we
Yeah.
haven't been, we hadn't done anything. Yeah.
So what is? Let's just fill in the gap right now.
Yeah,
a
fill in the
little
gaps.
bit. So
Yeah.
what have we been up to?
Oh, yeah. Well, we obviously I have been up to. I just had a baby.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say just had a baby. He's about 7 months old now.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, he's a joyful little boy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's basically what I've been up to since the time we did our last podcast till now.
Mhm.
I quit my job. I mean, I got pregnant with a baby, quit my job, and came home to take care of my child, and then there was COVID.
Yeah.
So it has been very dramatic, but
It's been good.
it's been okay. Yeah,
been okay.
it's been okay.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
Yeah.
You didn't quit your job alone.
You quit yours and got a new one.
Yeah, I quit mine too, and recently got a new one,
Mhm.
and lost that one.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you remember?
Yeah, I remember, of course. Yeah.
That was just a month.
Uh-huh.
I did a month, and then we had to come home. So
Yeah.
I finished 3 months at home, and then the contract ended.
Yeah.
So this new one, we are just hoping that COVID doesn't threaten it
Yeah.
again. We'll see how it goes. But I've also published a book.
Yes.
Finally.
yes. Finally.
Yeah.
Saving Rainbow.
Yeah, Saving Rainbow.
Yeah. I had something to do with it. I like saying that. I had something to do with it. I edited it. So if you hear about this, you have to look for Saving Rainbow and go and buy it.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a good read.
It's a good read.
Yeah.
It's a good read. I started that story somewhere 2018, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2018 somewhere. And I thought, I mean, it should be something worth publishing.
Yeah.
So why not try it? So so far the response has been good.
It has been good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think now that's what we are doing and trying to see how we manage with this pandemic.
Yeah, see how we manage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talking about pandemics, and today actually we are being joined on the podcast by
introducing
by how do I introduce this person without sounding corny? Okay, let me be as serious as possible. He's my husband, but he's also someone that I bounce a lot of ideas off of. He's actually he's also an editor, my editor. He edits me in speech and in words. He does a lot of.
You know, you did that a lot yourself.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And thank you for the last minute edit with the
with the cover.
Yeah, the cover.
The back.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is sacrilege. It doesn't have to go out like this. Otherwise, I have something to do with
exactly.
This can't happen. So my husband is here with us. He's going to join us in the discussion about. Okay, before we even delve into that, he's a senior disaster control officer.
Wow.
Yeah. And he works with NADMO.
Yeah.
NADMO. Yeah, he works with NADMO.
Yeah.
He's here with us. He's also a journalist, but currently he's not practicing. But he's a master journalist.
So then we are going to have some real strong opinions.
Oh yes.
Thoughts today.
Yeah. We are basically going to talk about how we've been coping with
the pandemic.
So far. How things have gone on. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm welcome again.
Yes, you are welcome. You are most welcome.
Yeah, most welcome.
You are most welcome.
You're most welcome.
Well, I'm glad to be part of this.
Yeah.
I think your previous podcasts were very insightful. So to be called to join this is an honor.
We are honored to have you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay.
So how
we jump into the
we jump into it. Let me just start about how I have been coping when this whole scary COVID. Sometimes I don't even like saying the name, but when it started or when it all began, I was pregnant. So for me, it was a very, very scary time. And it was most especially scary when they called for the lockdown. At that time, nobody had to go anywhere. We had to just shop for food and stay in the house. But for us, at that time, I still had a job. I was still doing the morning show in the morning at my workplace. So I had to go to work because media wasn't exempted from the show. And I had this thing in my mind. I just had to keep to myself all the time. I'm already the type of person who likes to keep to herself. But this time especially, I was very aware of my environment. Nobody could walk around me. I didn't want anyone in my atmosphere. That's how scared I was, because I also had the notion that when you are pregnant, your immune system is already low. So it was crazy. I was always thinking that the next person who talks to me probably has COVID and will give it to me.
And doesn't even know.
And I also had to deal with going to the hospitals for antenatal and all that, because the hospital, I believe, is a hub for diseases. And if COVID is out there,
then it's
the surefire way of getting it is to going to join a bunch of other pregnant women or maybe some other sick people, and then getting it when you're supposed to, be your safest self. But hey, I guess I went through it. It was a scary time for me. It was really scary.
Yeah, and it's even still a scary time.
It is.
It's even still a scary time, because for me, when I don't think I took it very seriously when it started. I really didn't. And then I told you my energy level for a while during my energy level was. So when it started happening like that, I was like, is this COVID? I actually went to get a COVID test. Yeah. And it wasn't. It turned out that my vitamins were very low. Yeah, my vitamins, the mineral. They said I had blood. So I thought it was maybe my blood level too, but they said the blood level was okay. But the vitamins, the strength of the blood is not there. So I had to be taking a lot of vitamins. And now with this COVID thing too, that's when I actually started taking it serious. So that I felt like my immune system was low. So I started taking care of myself. And I was working from home. Yeah. So I didn't have to go anywhere. I was home. And it's still scary, but we are sanitizing and wearing the mask. So
protocols. Protocols.
Well, I had let me say, a real encounter with it, because I was still working. And then, we were supposed to be frontliners.
You were working with the EC.
Fortunately, in Ghana, we had very, let me say, scanty knowledge about the virus. It was new to us, so even how to manage it was a bit, let me say, we had a lot of challenges because of the fact that we didn't have the kind of system the whites had and all that. For instance, when it comes to contact tracing and all that, you can. The questions I used to ask was that, what if the person joins a church? How do you trace all the people the person sat with?
Yes.
Because our churches are
unregulated.
Our transport system is non-existent. Okay, so I was like, okay, that one is a problem. Then we have a non-existent address system. So these two was going to come together to give us a big headache when it comes to contact tracing.
Yeah.
So I was asking questions. So how are we doing the contact tracing? Is it by phone numbers? How do you even know who I sat with in the trotro? How do you know their address when most of the places in Accra, for instance, are unmarked?
Yes.
So, well, at the beginning, I was like, this disease shouldn't be part of us. It shouldn't be part of us. But finally, the numbers started going up.
Yeah.
Started going up. I was like, okay, then we have it now. Because there have been similar diseases in the past. SARS. You know, this is also a SARS. It's also a type of SARS.
It's a type of SARS.
Yeah, but the previous SARS was not part of us.
Okay.
Ebola didn't get to us.
We didn't experience it here.
Exactly. We didn't experience it. Even though it was in neighboring countries. We didn't experience it here. So with Corona, I think our mistake was letting in people from abroad. It worsened our case. It worsened our cases. So, well, but with God being our helper, we were able to, have one of the most successful Corona stories in the world. Our infection rate was low. Our death rate was low, and our recovery was high.
Our recovery is very high.
You understand? Our recovery is very high. With our infection rates, as a professional, I wouldn't want to think it was because we're doing the right thing. Because you see people, with no nose mask, people were not practicing this social distancing and all that. So I don't think our infection rate was because we're doing the right thing, but it was because probably we're not testing as many people as the West was doing. For instance, the US and these advanced countries were testing people in the millions. But we had a situation where the test kit was even expensive. So how many people were we testing at the time? So our infection rate, I really don't want to beat my chest and say that it was
because
it was on top. But with the recovery, yes, we had some.
But we can't also say that maybe people were getting infected, but they were not going to the hospital because maybe the side effects, they were being able to manage the side effects in their at home.
But I believe also that a lot of people didn't get tested, and most people who had the virus or who have it are asymptomatic.
You feel like in this part.
Yes, most people who have it, they are asymptomatic. They don't show. It doesn't show. Okay, so you can't really say that. And one thing about the contact tracing was that there was some contact tracing, but it was terrible. It was terribly done. Number one, even those who were doing the contact tracing weren't protected. There were certain incentives that they had to have in order to be able to go out and do proper contact tracing that they didn't have. Certain things that were promised them and all that they didn't get. So contact tracing was a sham to me. It was a sham. Initially, when they started contact tracing, I believe they started with all the film that they needed to put in. But as time went on, no, it was just crazy. It was all over the place.
But do you think our government manipulated the numbers? Because,
like I was saying, initially I thought, I felt government was manipulating the numbers. But later, I was looking at this testing rate. The testing we were doing, it wasn't enough to tell us the actual infection rate.
Figures, yes.
You get it. So you think there ain't many cases. Well, if you're not testing, you're not going to get new cases.
You're not going to get new. Yes, I mean, if you're not testing, you're not going to get new cases.
You won't get new.
In fact, I remember when I was trying to even get tested, when I was having my fatigue. I went to Rage. It was a Saturday, and they told me that they don't work on Saturdays.
Can you imagine?
And it
That's
was
a hospital.
that was the hospital.
Yeah.
That the testing center don't work on Saturdays.
Wow.
They don't work on weekends. And I was like, so you mean I have to go back home with the way I'm feeling?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what is really happening to me. Like,
Exactly.
In the meantime, some of these media houses, we are on TV or on radio shouting for people to go get tested, or for people to go to hospitals that are, designated for COVID.
Yeah.
We are shouting that every day. Do that. But
you go there and it's a different story.
It's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
It's a different story.
But let me. I would like to play the devil's advocate here. I mean, this COVID-19 sort of exposed the WHO.
Okay.
Because all along we've been made to believe that the foods we eat in Africa are substandard, are not nutritious. Africans are more nourished. Africans are this. So whenever there's World Food Program, they're looking at Africa. I mean, we had, there was this announced expose about foods that were being sold in the north that were donated by WHO, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I'm like, do we really need these kind of assistance? Because let's take the north for instance. They grow millet there. That's a quality grain. They grow soya bean there. They grow wheat. They grow all the cereals. And they grow a lot more things. Even this bitter cola. That is also very medicinal. It's grown there. And we are taking these things there for what? You understand? So the WHO's perception about us should have been revised long ago. We've been at the crossroads before. We've been at a time where Ghanaians were minority. We had the 83 hunger, the drought, the 83 drought. So.
But the story has changed.
A lot has changed from that time till now.
Until now.
You understand? So the world body's inability to revise their notes about certain African countries, I think, is worrying.
It's very worrying.
Because
isn't this lady, Bush, the wife? She came out to say in her anticipation, she's saying Africa
we're
going to die
on the streets.
That story.
Yes, can you imagine? And Bill Gates and these
Bill Gates,
rich men were projecting a lot of doom for us.
For Africa, yes.
All because they have the perception that we have weaker immune system. But guess who died in their numbers?
They did, and they are still dying. And what's worrying about this is the fact that some of these people, like Bill Gates, for instance, some of these people spend a lot of time in Africa, so they know Africa. And I believe they know Africa food, and they know. If you spend a lot of time here, obviously things around you. You should know about. So I don't know what possesses them to make such
to still maintain the
those
same.
Talking about the fact that we don't even need certain types of help from the WHO. Where food is concerned and all that. It reminds me of a funny story someone told some time ago. He was like, it wasn't in Ghana. It was one of these African countries. It was like, he was just there some time ago with his little brother, and they were happily playing. They had eaten and they were full. They had their tummies full, so they were playing. And then all of a sudden, they saw an aeroplane dropping. There was a time they used to drop food at certain places. They believed there was famine or there was war. So they started dropping food like that, and he was like, "Oh, what's that? Let's go check it out." So he went with his brother to go check it out. And it was food. I was like, food. So now food drops from the sky. Okay, let's just take it. It's an addition to what we have. We are fine, but we it was a lot funnier when he said it because But when I think about it, it sounds so ridiculous. The kind of perception that they have,
and they still keep about this place.
Yeah, but the dangerous aspect of this whole thing is when our leaders, who are supposed to know better, are as naive as all of us. Because if the WHO says that's it. Meanwhile, we have doctors, we have scientists, we have researchers in this country. We have Noguchi, we have Gropon,
scientific
CSIR. We have all these resources in this country, but we want to be fed by the WHO when it comes to research and science.
Do you think it's spoon feeding, or that sometimes I like to think that some people have been bought?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that way. Like people have been bought. So
the leaders have been bought
in some way.
Yeah.
But looking at the way leadership is attained in this country, I think to say they have been bought, you might be wrong.
Okay.
Because there's a political figure, or there are political figures in this country who are more naive than us. They are naive. They don't read. They don't know. And the white man says, if you want to hide something from the African, put it in a book. And a lot of us don't like reading.
It's true.
So
the information is there.
It's there, but they don't know it.
So
they will just be naive about everything. They will just be taking things like they are being instructed to do something.
And I mean, and that's very shameful.
And most of us also have been just conditioned to believe what just comes from the West.
Exactly.
From they are the higher power or something.
Exactly.
You know. So once it's coming from them, then it has to be.
Yeah, but I was thinking, over the years, Ghana has done a lot when it comes to research into diseases like malaria. It's unfortunate we've not been able to have a vaccine.
Yeah.
But we not being able to have a vaccine may be as a result of things you and I are not privy to.
Okay.
It could be that there are some pharma giants, some pharmaceutical giants abroad who produce malaria drugs.
It
who are
wouldn't
fighting
be
against
at all.
The production of the
vaccine or
it
something like
be
that.
The malaria vaccine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think Noguchi has gone past the ability to produce a vaccine. They've worked for years. By now, they should be able to produce a vaccine for malaria. But with all this experience, that's why I find it difficult when Ghanaians want to rely on WHO. With WHO, come to think of it, my godfather was the former Deputy Director General of WHO.
Wow.
He's the one who was put in charge of COVID in Ghana. That is what saved us. I'm not saying this because I know him, but his work with SARS, with Ebola, how he managed
the success he had.
Success story. That man is
very
a gift from God to us.
His work, so
it's a gift from God to us. So I think Nanado handpicking him as the one in charge of COVID was the trump card.
Okay.
His name is Dr. Asamoah. That was what saved us. I think that is what brought that kind of results that we're having. When it comes to the COVID cases, the recovery and all that.
Making sure that
exactly, this is someone who was enjoying his retirement. But you see what he brought in. And he's a Ghanaian. Worked with the WHO for 20 whole years.
Wow.
Yes, 20 whole years. So if we are here and we think our doctors, our scientists are not capable of producing the kind of help we need, then we are shallow-minded.
And it's a problem.
It's
a problem.
For a whole WHO to have our own as a deputy director, the number 2 person behind the lady, there was a lady director general. For the WHO to have such a person as number 2 for
22 years.
It's something that we should have taken into consideration. to respect our own people, to respect our own professionals. We have amazing doctors in this country.
Amazing doctors here.
We have a lot of good doctors, even though they've been taught the one way medicine that they keep teaching our doctors. Some of them
go beyond.
Exactly.
They
Some
go
of
beyond.
them think outside the box.
Yeah. They go beyond.
They go beyond what they've been taught.
But isn't that where also maybe there are challenges how they can convince the people in power to allow them implement some of the things they are learning on their own, to make it mainstream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's where sometimes challenge.
Yeah, it's always bound to be a challenge because in this country, I would say we have an inverted pyramid type of leadership. You have those who know, the professionals, the doctors, the professors, and all the in fact the human resources, the real human capital.
Yeah.
The ones that are supposed to think for us, they are at the bottom of that inverted pyramid.
Yeah.
And you have those who know very little, or let me say, people who are in positions by virtue of the fact that they belong to a particular political party.
Yeah.
They are just there because they belong to a political party, but not because they have the knowledge to be there.
Yeah, and the skills to do what they are.
Exactly. That is why I've described our leadership as an inverted pyramid type of leadership. The real technocrats are down there. They don't have much control when it comes to, or much say when it comes to decision making in the country. You have, in fact, excuse me to say, blockheads taking the decisions for us.
Yes.
Yeah, because some of the things, largely.
Unfortunately, some of these things, if you try to say them too much, you'll be seen as someone attacking leadership. But it's a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. It's not. Let me quickly add that it's not a wholesale thing. It's not every leader who is not a technocrat. We have some very professional leaders around us. But in fact, unfortunately, our political system is not something to write up about.
Yeah, it's job for the boys.
Job for the boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was very deep.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, this is a very
so
a huge insight.
I want to say, so now that we find ourselves in this situation and in this country, as individuals and as households, what should be our position? Because for me, that is really the main concern. If the country you are in is not going to show up for you the way it's supposed to show up for you, what can you do to protect yourself? In the best ways. They may have some agenda doing whatever they feel it needs to be done, but on the individual level too. Should we now consider this COVID-19 as something like malaria that is coming to stay with us? Should we start thinking like that? Maybe something like, is that the way forward?
To some extent, let me say this. To some extent, maybe. Well, it depends. Maybe if we consider it as something that has come to stay, then we can deal with it a little bit better. Okay. I am thinking so. Then there can be all sorts of solutions, and the situation can be managed a little better.
Because I feel like right now we are still trying to get it away. Get it away.
Yeah.
So should we embrace?
If we embrace it and it's here with us, then we can.
For now, we don't have a choice. That's what we have to do. We have to, keep practicing the social distancing, all the protocols. We have to observe all the protocols. But I believe it will go because
it will.
Yes, it will go, but it will take some time. But this is a virus. Okay. Thankfully, it's not being transmitted by any insect or like malaria.
Okay.
What makes malaria prevalent still is the fact that it's transmitted by mosquito.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we are one of the most careless people when it comes to how we handle water and our drains. Most of our drains are open.
Okay.
So mosquitoes have access to them, breed anyhow they like. And even in our houses, find a milk tin that has been left there to gather water, or coconuts, empty coconut, cases that are there holding water. These are all grounds for breeding.
Breeding mosquitoes.
And then, but with the COVID, I'm saying it will go early because you remember the Spanish flu.
The Spanish flu.
It killed 50 million people in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, that did a lot of damage. I hear it killed some people in Ghana too.
How long did the Spanish flu last? Do we know?
Yeah, but in Ghana, the Spanish flu didn't last.
It didn't last
too long.
Okay.
But it lasted in other places. In fact, where it started, it lasted in those places much longer.
Okay.
So with this one, I'm sure it will go like any other flu. For instance, Ebola was around.
Yeah.
It went until I hear some people went to dig some graves.
Yeah.
That were supposed to be.
I heard that news too.
Exactly.
Covered.
Covered.
So
that is what's and Ebola. What makes Ebola more dangerous is that the virus can survive all the time, even under the earth.
But even that went, so it's possible that COVID
exactly. So
might go.
COVID
but one scary thing about COVID is the rate at which it spreads. For malaria, you can say that if you know that a mosquito will bite you, and then you can protect yourself.
Yeah.
But with COVID, we are dealing with people who are asymptomatic. You can't look at a person and say it's all over the place, and we are all over the place, and there are people who have unfortunately, decided not to adhere to safety protocols.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are people in your own home who don't adhere. I mean, if somebody goes out for a day or two and comes back in, the only fitting thing, if it were possible, would be for the person to test and see if you are not coming to infect all of us here with what you've come back with. But unfortunately, it's not like that. So yes, maybe it will go away, but it will take a little while. But I still believe that we should embrace it. I mean, it's here.
Because I feel like
make it a part of it. We don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. It's the way, because if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, right? Because that's a mentality I feel like we have right now, trying to uproot it.
Well,
but
it will be difficult.
It will be difficult
because
it will be difficult.
I think all we have to do is to just keep doing the right thing. People should take their eating serious. What they eat, the kind of foods. We Ghanaians like to copy blindly.
Yeah.
It's high time we shy away from these junk foods that we think are superior foods.
Yeah.
Like the fried rice and the go-mininis, this, what do you call it? Check.
Yeah, the check, yes.
If you look at the way they produce check, you can see this is real junk food.
This is real junk food.
They are frying the thing dry like that, and then you see them fetch something that MSG
in its raw state, and then they mix it, and then we are eating it.
And so these are things we need to take note of. So when you wake up in the morning, get your normal Hausa cocoa made from millet, which is a quality grain.
Yeah.
Eat that healthy porridge with kose made from beans.
Yeah.
So
you can imagine our foods, our local foods.
We have
very healthy. Because recently a lady in the market was saying that corona is kafoyari. It's not that corona is kafoyari. The fact is,
I mean, people actually say that.
The fact is that most of the people dying are mostly the rich.
Okay.
Rightly so, because when you're rich,
they can afford
you can afford a lot of luxury. You have your car, you're always in your AC, you hardly even exercise. and you eat all the margarine, all the butters that we see as expensive, you have money, so you can buy them.
Yeah.
You eat them. You are able to consume a lot of things that we cannot afford. And the cheap things here, like what I mentioned as our breakfast, our typical Ghanaian breakfast, cocoa and toasty. It's very cheap.
It's very cheap.
We should
one
eat
cedi,
a lot
one
of
cedi.
fruits too.
Yeah. You know, and so I think we should just eat right. Because when it comes to the supplements, in fact, supplements are not 100% surety that they are being guaranteed.
And they are
good health.
expensive. Yes, they are expensive. So eat right, eat a lot of
just
fruits.
eat right, eat a lot of fruits.
Look,
drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Talking about the safety protocols and the things we are supposed to do in order not to, call COVID for ourselves. It looks like they are very, very basic things that has been shouted for a long time. Pre-COVID, wash your hands. Sanitize. I mean, keep yourself clean. Keep your environment clean. Make sure you eat well, exercise. All those things. Keep your immunity up and all those things. It's just, it's as if the disease came to remind us, to serve as a reminder. To do what is right. It's just so basic.
But and one thing that enforces, or that one thing that informs that mentality is the protocols we're supposed to observe with cholera. You remember this song?
I think it was fantastic.
It was about cholera.
It was about cholera.
You understand?
Yes.
So, if we were a serious country, I mean, we should always be doing that right now.
Yes.
So that when COVID comes, it won't get us so much like that.
And also start campaigns like that. I mean, a campaign.
I think we should go back to those
days.
Do you think that it is helping us to be more disciplined? So we can say that the situation is helping us to be more disciplined.
It's trying to shape us.
It's trying to shape us.
To some extent. Maybe some people are still a little slow in grasping the whole thing. Yeah, but if you really understand what is going on, then yes, you will be mindful about the fact that let me do this, let me sanitize, So I believe the more we preach it, the more we practice it, the more other people will also get it, and then we'll be at a safe place.
Okay, but also on the family front, I can just imagine what couples are going through, like couples, parents, because if you're a single person, you are taking care of yourself. You are an individual, but for the family, you have kids.
Exactly.
You have kids.
You have to provide for.
You have to provide for. Make sure that they are healthy. I can imagine the level of anxiety you are dealing with.
So let me say this for him, because when this whole COVID thing, even now, he's still like that. My husband, he takes it to the next level. When they say mask up, he masks up and then wears a face shield. He also wears glasses. So you can imagine, he doesn't take the glasses off.
Your face is very busy.
Yeah, the face is very busy, very covered up. He buys us immune boosters. We take immune boosters on the regular. We take vitamins on the regular. We have bottles of sanitizers at home. We are always wiping down, always washing our hands. He is I don't know, he's a machine when it comes to double checking all the time, because he's always out there. So and we have a baby, so he has to make sure that he's fine. As soon as he gets home, he strips, takes his bath before he comes to touch any of us. He's taking it to the end, and I really believe that what he did is has really saved us, because he was exposed a lot. Quite a lot, because the precautions he took, he had to take them in order to protect us. Fortunately, we are home. The kids were home for quite a while. They just started school. So we were protected because we were home. We didn't have to go anywhere all the time. But hey, we also had our stuff in our bags.
I had a reason to be a little paranoid. When COVID came, my wife was heavily pregnant. And I was hearing a lot of horrible stories about COVID. So when I imagine for my wife, I don't imagine for her alone. I imagine for her and the baby, the unborn baby. So I was scared. But I was scared. So some of these things that I was doing, it was out of fear. I was paranoid. Rightly so.
But rightly so. I believe it paid off. I believe it paid off.
I believe if every family takes COVID serious, we'll go a long way to take care of this. To get it out.
And I really like the fact that you can even admit that you were scared. Because if you can acknowledge your fear, then you know that you can do you can take precaution. And I think that is something that most of the time we are trained not to admit things even to ourselves. So that's a whole different conversation that but we are not trained to. You are told to don't be afraid. That message is there. But if you can admit to yourself that this thing is scaring me, and then what can I do to make sure that I'm on the right track? It can help you do better. So I think just being able to admit that.
It was a step in the right direction. I want to ask you because you had to take care of yourself, and there was basically nobody around you to. Nobody has to tell.
As a single person,
yes.
So for me, as I said, I was working a lot at home. So I was mostly at home, but at the same time too, I was dealing with this this energy low.
That you had.
So now that I have actually started going out again full time, that is how now I'm being very cautious. I'm being very extra careful now, and I'm wearing my mask. I'm sanitizing. But I'm really concerned for my parents. I think that is where my real concern is. Yesterday I was reading that people with underlying issues, health will not have the vaccine. And I couldn't understand because I'm just hoping that this vaccine will come so my parents will take it. That has been my mind.
Well, if I understand the way vaccines are produced, vaccines are produced with whatever virus the vaccines are supposed to be fighting.
Okay.
So, for instance, with coronavirus, they will be taken and it will be used to produce the vaccine. And people with underlying conditions, we all know are vulnerable. And these vaccines are at the trial stage. So you can't really tell if it's really going to work for them. So taking the vaccine with underlying conditions and putting the person away.
But that is very true. They take the virus and they use it to create the vaccine. But what I understand, I hope I'm not completely wrong, but I heard somewhere, because there's so much information all around the place. You hear, I heard, yes, the vaccine, the virus is taken all right, but what is in the virus? What the whichever thing it is that is in the virus that makes you sick, it's taken out. That is taken out, and then the vaccine is made. I wish I had a better way of explaining it, but I think I understood what they were talking about. Because the vaccine will not make you sick. No.
But there are side effects.
There are side effects, but it hasn't got anything to do with the virus itself. The fact that the virus was taken to make the vaccine. I hope I'm right about that.
Because for me, as a single person, I'm worried. I've been worried about my parents and my brother and his wife. Because they also have little ones. So my mind is always
if they are taking safe.
They are being safe.
But your parents are home most of the time.
They are home most of the time. But my younger brother lives with them. He goes out and comes.
That's the danger.
That's the danger.
But if strictly observe
the protocols as well, he should be fine. Yeah. When he gets so many, I hope you have a Veronica bucket at home so that he can wash his hands.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I don't think they have.
We have one here.
But they have a tap outside. So there's a tap outside before you get into it.
You wash your hands.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so right now, what can we say some of the way forwards are for us? You know, with this virus. I mean, we've mentioned eating well. Yeah.
I think one thing we didn't touch on was local recipes plus those who manufacture drugs, herbal medicine.
Yeah.
Herbal medicine. Yeah. This was supposed to be a perfect time for herbal medicine to be explored at length. Yes. And I think we did hear some stories about people who use neem tree, some lime, and they made a concoction, and it helped with their sinuses. I believe it helped clear. I hear the disease attacks your
chest,
your sinuses, so you can't breathe properly. But there was somebody who actually took that concoction and it helped clear, and then he was fine. But the funny thing is, the person was a doctor too. So when he got quarantined and he took that concoction. When he got back, he went back to work.
Yeah.
Some doctor colleagues had died or were sick.
It was two or three.
Yeah.
Before he got back. Yeah. His colleagues who got infected at the same time he got infected.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I think he was either a Ghanaian medical doctor or a Nigerian medical doctor in the US also.
That is so sad.
Who had this?
So.
Yeah. So. I think we should be wrapping up for.
Yeah, maybe we can do a part two if we haven't exhausted everything.
No, we haven't exhausted.
We haven't. So
we'll do a part two.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do a part. Maybe touch on career and how it is changing, and maybe anything new we can come up with, innovative things to
Certainly.
Certainly.
See how I like the. Let me just chip in this last thing that I like the fact as a prelude to what we'll talk about next time. I like the fact that there are more people working at home.
Yeah.
So it was all I think about is the fact. So this was possible all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All this while this was possible, and we had to definitely go to work and go and slave away and all that.
In somebody's cubicle.
So
okay. So I think we'll end it here for part one, and then we'll do part two very soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. Yes. So thank you for listening. Mm-hmm. And then it's still Nelly and I.
Yes, Nelly and I.
Yeah, with our guest. Say. Okay. Bye.